Good morning, everyone. Today is April 29, Wednesday. We're starting week 5, day 3. So I'm going to go ahead and skim the beginning of this PowerPoint. Like always, agenda due now. If you haven't already, go to Google Classroom, do it. Learning criteria, overview assignments, vocabulary, and I'm going to model how to do the assignment using last week's article. Alright, the learning target is I am learning to construct a CER prompt. In order to know that you have reached your target, your learning target, you have 4 success criteria that you have to accomplish. I'm just going to go and skip ahead. Alright, so once again, we're just kind of doing a claim evidence reasoning for different articles. Vocabulary. You have CER, your claim, evidence, reasoning, your position you're taking, things that support your position, your evidence, and why those evidence support your position. Okay. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so the research question for last week, if you remember, was, is climate change impacting species and the environment? So you were either yes, the climate change is impacting species and the environment, or no. You're either pro or con. With it, against it. And in order to support what your claim, you had 3 articles to choose from to gather evidence from. So you had article number 1, which is the forest fires burning in the Amazon. We had article 2, which is polar bears getting impacted, and article 3 is the ocean life, how the ocean is getting impacted with all the climate change. So let's go to the claim. So the claim is a simple 1-sentence phrase. Now, going back to the research question, if you see it here, the research question is climate change impacting species and the environment? Once again, yes or no. You're either for or against it. So the only 2 ways to write your claim would be climate change is impacting species and the environment, meaning that you agree with it, or climate change is not impacting the species and the environment, so you're against it. Now, some examples as I was going through your worksheets. So some examples of how you can write it, how you can write your claim is 1, like I said before, restating the question, climate change is impacting species and the environment. And the same thing but having a yes or no before the sentence. So yes, climate change is impacting species, or no, climate change is not impacting the species. The reason why I put this one for need of improvement is because, like I said, your claim is only 1 sentence. This individual, as you can see, has more than 1 sentence. So not only does this individual have more than 1 sentence, they didn't really restate the question. They only answered yes. Yes, what? What am I yesing to? What are you yesing to? What if I didn't have the research question? How would I know what you're saying yes to? So, claim is simple, 1 sweet sentence that answers the question. So, follow the format to the left. Okay. Step 2, once you find your claim, you need your evidence to back up your claim. So, the following people, or the next 2 slides, I have screenshots, examples from different individuals. So these are all good formats. So you could see from this individual in period 2, she has her statement, and what I like about it is that she told me where she got the statement from. She told me, like, evidence 1, she got it from article 1, which is the forest fires. Evidence 2, she got it from both articles. Evidence 3, she got it from the polar bear article. This individual, I like it because she used one quotation marks, the author's name, and the paragraph number. And then this individual, same thing. They cited the article. They said, in this article, the polar bears, in this article, the oceans, the fires, and then they gave me the statement. Particularly, shout out to these two because the assignment was to get evidence from all 3 articles. A lot of you messaged me saying if you needed all 3. I said 2 is fine, but great work, you two, from period 2 and period 6 for using all 3 articles. Okay. Same thing. All of this slide is all period 8 individuals. They were chosen because either they cited, I'm not going to spend too much time, they cited the article where they got it from. This individual in particularly paraphrased, or in their own words, explained their evidence and where they got it from. So they have their quotation, so the statement directly from the article, and then they put it in their own words, which is the darker font. So, Ms. Mendez, can you just tell me what you want to see for the evidence? Yeah. So for the evidence, I want 3 things. I want quotations, I want the author's or the article name, and I want the paragraph or page number. Now, what will that look like? So there are 2 ways of doing that. Either format 1, which is you start off with the quotation, you have your evidence, like the copy and paste text from the article, and quotation, author's name, and paragraph number. So that's going to be similar to this one right here, where this individually has the statement, author's name, and paragraph number. Or you can do format 2. You could say in this paragraph 10, in paragraph 10, the author, Ms. Mendez, said put quotation marks. So either way, either format 1 or format 2 is great for your evidence. And once again, if you need examples, just look at the previous slides. Alright, so we went to claim, we went to evidence, now we're doing reasoning. Excuse me. So reasoning explains why the evidence relates back to the claim. So honorable mentions from period 6, 8, and 2. So you can see from the first one, this individual ties their reasoning back to their claim. So why the evidence supports their claim. So evidence 1 supports my claim because the more carbon dioxide the Earth has, the harder it will be to lose heat. If the Earth does not lose the heat back into space, the Earth will get warmer. So this one automatically tells me, okay, so this is why we care about carbon dioxide. Because the more carbon dioxide there is in the planet, the warmer it's going to get. So that's going to be impacting the environment. Awesome. Period 8, they're going back and they're indicating this evidence. This evidence relates to my claim because same thing for the last one, period 2. I like that this individual, she kind of color-coded each reasoning to the evidence. So the red was for evidence 1, the purple was for evidence 2, the blue is for evidence 3, and so on. So this is not required that you color code it, but I appreciate it because it was just like easier for me to see like how are you relating each evidence back to the claim. Okay. I'm gonna skip to the next two slides. One thing I kind of want to note is the reason why I have these 2. So is because they're not wrong in what they wrote. I just want to see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more like the previous slide. So how does each evidence connect back to your claim. You can still have that phrase. Those phrases are not incorrect. Like what you did was not incorrect. I just want a little bit more. Like add on, expand to your reasoning, be more specific. So that's fine, but a little bit more detail. It's all about improving your work. All about improving work. All right, so moving on, because I'm running out of time. Okay, so questions. The questions that you come up with, a lot of you came up with great questions. Unfortunately, I only have one just for an example, but that doesn't mean that a lot of you didn't have great questions. Like I was reading it and I was like, that's a good question. So one example would be like, what is it really going to take for people to start helping so that things can get better in the world? Like I like this question because it's a very thought-provoking question. Like it makes you sit down and actually think like, what will it take for humans to change their habits? It makes you think. It's not like a right or wrong answer. It's not a yes, it's not a no question. You could answer this however many ways. Maybe it takes a pandemic like we're in right now. It took a pandemic for humans to be forced not to use their cars, forced factories down, and although like I agree, like it's unfortunate what's going on, like it's unfortunate, but the environment is having a positive impact because we're not using so many cars or factories. So there's many ways to answer this question. Please do not write things that you could just Google real quick, like what is carbon dioxide. Like those are low level questions. Really think about the high level questions. So like what ifs, like what if we just whatever, just questions that really make you think. All right, completed worksheets. So here are two examples of what a completed worksheet looks like. I use these two because one, they have the evidence in a way that I'm kind of looking for, quotations where they got it from, and this one, so you can either have the format all black or you could color code it to make it easier for you and me to see afterwards. So either way is fine. These are just some examples. Okay, so let's relate this back to the article for today. So the question for today is, I lost my question. Your friend tells you that water can only be found on Earth. Is Earth the only planet with water? So let's go back. So your claim, remember, sweet one sentence claim. That's it. No more, no less. Either yes, either no. For it or against it. So you can either have Earth is the only planet with water, or you can have Earth is not the only planet with water. Oh, it's freezing. As you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and just say Earth is the only planet with water. If you don't think Earth is the only planet, then you say Earth is not the only planet with water. So there are other planets. I'm gonna change it. Not the only planet with water. Alright, so then let's go to the articles. You have 3 articles to choose from. You have Article 1, which was Monday, Article 2, which was Tuesdays, and Article 3, which you're receiving today, or with all this information. So the reason why the Monday's article works is because in the claim or in this assignment, it doesn't say that water had to be in liquid form. Water could be frozen, so solid form, liquid, room temperature, or it can be water vapor, gaseous form. So you kind of can manipulate that question.